Hello again, my avid darlings. Today we are going to be talking about GREAT and how to be your best self while pursuing your goals. GREAT is another acronym like GRIT, and this is also another screencast like the one we did for GRIT. So you should be familiar. Hopefully, you remember that an acronym is a word that is created when you take the first letter from several words and put it together to make a new word like NASA. Okay? And our screencast, remember, is available to you. You can pause at any time. You can rewind. You can watch it multiple times. There are several options so that you can make sure that you are getting all the information copied down. Because, yes, you are taking notes. Again, I want you to choose a note-taking format that works best with your brain, but understand that you are going to be eventually evolving these into focus notes. And so you need to leave yourself room for questions and for making connections and for the summary slash review slash reflection. Okay? All right. So the title of these notes is GREAT. Our essential question, or EQ, is how will being great help me be my best self as I pursue my goals? Alrighty. So great is already a word, and this has actually been done backwards. It was a word first and then turned into an acronym, but that's okay. We can work with that. The word great means remarkable in magnitude, degree, or effectiveness. All right. Greatness is your awesomeness. And how are you remarkable in magnitude, degree, or effectiveness? All righty. So let's look at each of those letters and the words that are associated with them. First, we have the G, which is goal-oriented. Now, goal-oriented means working hard to achieve good results in the task or tasks you have been given. Sometimes we're goal-oriented as part of a group, like we might be part of a musical group or a sports team. And that's great. We have a common goal that we're working towards. Sometimes there's a family goal. More often than not, though, we have personal goals. So working hard to achieve something that you want to do, accomplish, discover, learn. Okay? All right, so a goal itself is persistent in maintaining, adhering to, or seeking something valued or desired. My favorite two words in here are adhering to, because when you adhere to something, you stick to it. You keep with it. You keep going. Synonyms, and yes, you do need to write down the synonyms. Aspiration, objective. Aspiration, what do you aspire to? Alrighty. And then we have the word oriented. Oriented means intellectually, emotionally, or functionally directed. That means that our brains or our hearts or our environment can direct us or push us toward a certain direction. And that is, when we're goal oriented, is it a goal of our heart, our mind, or our situation that we hope to be in the future? Synonyms for oriented are want, and no, I did not misspell that word. There's a difference between W-A-N-T and W-O-N-T. Okay? When it is somebody's want, that means it's their practice or their routine or their habit. Okay? It's their direction that they follow on a regular basis. And the other synonym is grounded. And this is not grounded like, oh my gosh, you stayed out past curfew, so I'm taking away your phone. No, it's not that at all. Grounded, we talk about people who are grounded as being people who are in touch with the world and with themselves and with reality, and people who are standing on their own 2 feet and have a good sense of self and what they believe in. So grounded. Alrighty, so the R is responsible. And responsible is able to answer for our own conduct and obligations, and able to choose what is right, or between what is right and wrong. Okay? When you are responsible, it does not mean that you never make mistakes. We are all human. Of course, we're going to make mistakes as we learn and grow. All right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Being responsible says that, oh, I goofed. I messed up. I made a mistake. I did not follow through. Whatever the case is, I own it. I admit it. I will fix it to the best of my ability. That's what being responsible is. It's also, not only do you need to know the difference between right and wrong, you need to choose to do what is right. All right. Synonyms include liable and answerable. Next, we have the word erudite. Now, erudite might be a new word for a lot of you, and that's fine. It's not one that we use a lot. But erudite means having or showing knowledge that is gained by studying. Educated is a synonym. So is learned. And so is well-read. Now, there are a lot of things that you can learn from reading a book. But there are also things that you need to learn by studying or practicing. You can't learn to play a musical instrument by reading about it. You need to practice. You need to be hands-on. Same with a sport. You can't just read about it or watch it on TV. You have to participate in it. Okay? So study does not always mean strictly sitting down and reading books. Books are wonderful. I teach English. I love books very, very, very much. But they're not the only way to learn. Okay? So you can become erudite in a variety of ways. Alrighty, so the A in great stands for awareness of self. And awareness of self is conscious knowledge of one's own character, feelings, motives, and desires. That is, we know who we are, why we feel the way we feel, what it is that we want, why we're acting the way we're acting. Okay? The word awareness itself is knowledge and understanding that something is happening or exists. We know that something is going on. We know that listening to country music gives us a headache. I love country music, I'll be honest, but I know not everybody does. Okay, so awareness. So knowing that that there are people who, they're classmates of ours that go to bed hungry, that there are people who struggle to read and write because their brain is wired differently. We're aware of a lot of things, and that's great, okay? So synonyms include cognizance. I love the word cognizance. Cognate. cognitive, having to do with thinking, and mindfulness. And mindfulness is a great word because it doesn't just mean what we have in our brains as far as like learning, but again, it's our awareness of ourself and others. Okay, self. An individual's typical character or behavior. Who are you? Who are you? Who? All right, so who are you? What type of person are you? What is your character? What is your nature? What is your personality? All of those things go into making up your self. Awareness of self. Who are you as a person? And then lastly, teamwork. The T in great is teamwork. Now, teamwork is the work done by several people with each doing a part, but all working together for the good of the whole rather than the individual. This is so important. If you are a Facebook fan, and I am friends with a lot of my former students, and they post memes, especially the ones who are still in college. They post memes about being, doing group work and being the person that it never changes. They're always the person who's stuck doing all the work and everybody else gets the grade. Okay? Teamwork is about everybody individually doing their part for the good of the group. People are snarky and sarcastic about, well, there's no I in team. Well, there is and there isn't. Because when you're part of a team, it's not all about you. However, the team cannot function at its best without you. All right? So there's a difference there. Okay, so synonyms for teamwork include collaboration, and that's a word that I'm sure that you're familiar with. And also synergy. And I love the word synergy. Synergy means that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. That means we have all these different parts, and they're great on their own. But when we put them together is when they're the strongest and they're the best that they can possibly be. And that's what being part of a team is. It's synergistic. Okay. I thank you again, darlings, for listening to this screencast. Remember that you do need to take your notes and turn them into focus notes. Ask your Avid teacher for specific instructions, and I will see you on the flip side.